Imagine walking into a room that looks calm, proper, polished, chandeliers, polished wood, polite smiles. Then someone flips the lights. Everything changes. Secrets leak. Trust fractures. And suddenly, the image is shattered. That's exactly what happened when Prince William dropped what many are calling the biggest bombshell about Meghan Markle in years. A revelation that she privately accused senior royals of sabotaging her. And, according to insiders, did so without any proof. The whispers, the rumors, the hushed conversations behind closed doors. William decided enough was enough. He spoke, and when he did, the walls began to crumble. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Have you ever heard a rumor so quiet, so subtle, that it almost didn't register? That's how this began. Not with a press release, not with headlines screaming scandal, but with murmurs in palace corridors, with aides exchanging worried glances, with former staffers turning their eyes away from cameras. According to multiple insider leaks, some resurfacing recently, Meghan is said to have privately accused senior royals of undermining her, isolating her, plotting against her ambitions, all behind a facade of royal unity. There was no open memo, no public statement, no scandalized headline, just quiet accusations. And that's what made it so dangerous. Because in the world of royalty, influence is often invisible. Reputation is protected by silence, manners, and tradition. But when someone whispers about sabotage, even in private, it fractures the foundation. Suddenly, those hallway glances made sense. That hush over meetings, the strange sense of tension when certain names were mentioned, the unease among staff. What happened behind those closed doors? And why did William decide to make it public now? William breaks his silence. And everything changes. When William finally spoke up, the impact was immediate. He didn't yell. He didn't sensationalize. He simply stated facts. Or at least, what his circle claimed were facts. According to a 2025 report by a well-known tabloid, William was nearly ballistic after learning about long-standing allegations against Meghan, claims that she had bullied palace staff, created toxic working environments, and contributed to internal sabotage. Radar Online. Imagine being part of an institution where tradition demands silence, and then one member, the heir, decides enough is enough. When that happens, the earthquake begins. For many, his decision to speak was vindication, not just for staffers, but for anyone who believed institutions must acknowledge wrongdoing, even if it's painful or messy. Others saw it as a strategic power move, a way to reclaim narrative control in a story that had largely belonged to Meghan and her supporters for years. But why now? Was this timing random, or was it carefully calculated? What's particularly fascinating and disturbing is how much of this may have been going on behind the scenes for years. Sources allege that the alleged sabotage wasn't a sudden event, but a slow burn, subtle shifts in power dynamics, microaggressions disguised as cultural misunderstandings, meetings behind closed doors, hushed complaints from aides who feared they'd be dismissed. One former aide reportedly described a barrage of early morning emails, stern coldness, and a really toxic environment under Meghan's watch. Staff reportedly felt anxious before meetings. Some even claimed symptoms akin to PTSD. It wasn't about glaring, flashy betrayal, but subtle, corrosive sabotage, undermining confidence, eroding morale, fostering mistrust. And when William reportedly received a dossier of distress detailing these allegations, he reacted, showing how even within one of the most tradition-bound institutions, internal accountability sometimes wins out. Could it be that the sabotage wasn't just about Meghan feeling sidelined, but about cultural and systemic friction, tradition versus change, old guard versus new energy? This isn't simply a story of accusations. It's also a story of ambition, identity, and clashing visions. Long before this bombshell, insiders had described Meghan as possessing what some dubbed a messiah complex. According to unnamed former royal staffers, she aimed to carry forward the legacy of another royal icon, and was willing to shake up traditions, protocols, and hierarchies to do it. Some say she genuinely believed in using her platform for good, humanitarian efforts, social justice, breaking stereotypes. Others claim that drive made her intolerant of royal protocols. The alleged sabotage accusations might reflect not just personal conflict, but deeper institutional tension. A clashing of cultures. Yet, here's a twist. Some of the very staffers who now condemn the alleged sabotage once praised Meghan's confidence, her energy, her vision. When ambition meets tradition, things rarely stay stable for long. Is it possible that in trying to modernize one of the oldest institutions in the world, Meghan pushed too hard, forcing the old guard to push back? The fallout: trust eroded, loyalties tested, and the public watches. Once William's revelation hit the public sphere, the damage rippled fast. The palace, traditionally guarded, discreet, and united, appeared vulnerable. Those hallway whispers became headline news. Those private accusations became global debate. Employees and aides reportedly felt betrayed. Believers in monarchy felt confused. Royal watchers felt vindicated. The global audience, hungry for scandal and truth, weighed in. Choosing sides, reliving interviews, re-examining events, trying to read between every handshake, every glance, every public appearance. And amidst the noise, the core question lingered. Can an institution built on silences survive when one of its own breaks the code? What this means for royal drama and for real-life power dynamics. Beyond the gossip and page 3 headlines, this uproar reveals a universal truth about power, ambition, and institutions. Change is hard. And sometimes, those pushing for change get labeled troublemakers, saboteurs, even if they're trying to break barriers. When tradition clashes with ambition, the stakes are high. Control slips. Secrets emerge. Loyalties shift. And those caught in the middle, whether staffers, family members, or outsiders, feel the fallout. If William's expose shows anything, it's how fragile reputations can be. One dossier, one leak, one conversation can reshape narratives built over decades. For everyday people, even those far from royal palaces, it's a reminder: when systems value silence over transparency, change becomes dangerous. Standing up can cost a lot, but staying silent can cost more. Could this be just the beginning? Here's the thing: we're only seeing what's surfaced. Allegations, leaks, emotional testimonies, the discomfort, the tension, the aftermath. But what about everything still buried? What about the secrets still locked behind palace gates? Will more staffers speak out? Will former insiders publish memoirs? Will the media dig deeper, connecting dots nobody saw? If history teaches us anything, it's that once a door opens, even a crack, it keeps opening. And when institutions built on tradition face exposure, the consequences often unfold over years, not days. Here's the thing about scandals: they grab headlines. But what they reveal about human behavior, ambition, loyalty, fear, power dynamics, is universal. Power thrives in silence, but truth often demands voice. When institutions guard secrets, abuses can hide in plain sight. Speaking up can rock the foundation. Change invites resistance, often from the quietest corners. Tradition, hierarchy, protocol, they all fight to stay relevant. When someone pushes for disruption, pushback is inevitable. Ambition needs transparency. Vision and idealism are powerful, but when combined with closed systems, they risk being interpreted as threats or sabotage. Institutions are collections of people, not legends. Every protocol, rule, tradition was built by someone human. When people within start questioning the old rules, the institution must evolve or fracture. If you're watching all of this unfold, whether as a royal family follower, a pop culture enthusiast, or someone drawn to stories about power and betrayal, stay alert, because more is likely coming. Staff testimonies, books, leaks, maybe even official reckonings. And as each brick of silence falls, the real structure underneath, with all its flaws, gets exposed. For you, question narratives. Don't take public statements at face value. Listen to whispers. Notice the silences. And remember, often, what's not said matters.